Irrational fears Gen X had growing up. Grab a drink, grab a snack, and let's go back. Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Gen X Unfiltered, the podcast.
What's up, everybody?
Hey.
Welcome back.
I feel rusty right off the top.
It's been forever since we did one of these, but it hasn't been that long.
I know.
Well, I don't know. It's probably been like a week or two since we filmed. So
it felt weird hearing Gen X, the podcast. I'm waiting for Gen X, the movie.
The movie?
Gen X, the TV series.
That's coming.
Right.
Yeah.
It's all in the works.
Yeah. A movie about us. Everybody will want to watch that.
Oh, yeah.
We're so exciting. If only,
I put myself to sleep.
Yeah. We're like the most boring old people there are.
Pretty much so, yeah.
But with that in mind, thanks for joining us on our podcast, everyone.
But as the title suggests, we are going to talk about some fears that we had as kids growing up, Gen X style, because as I list through these, I forgot about a lot of them, but as I was going through them, I was like, ooh, yes, I remember that.
Oh, yeah. I had a lot of fears instilled in me growing up as a young lad, and I'm curious if they make it on this list.
Yeah, I'm curious what this list entails.
Yeah.
All right, we'll just get right into it. There's no particular order, just some of the ones that we have my handy dandy resource here.
This plant is starting to grow on you. Look at this thing. It's getting out of control.
And it is not a marijuana plant, everybody.
It is legal up here, but no.
It is not.
It looks like one, but yeah, like if you smoke it, nothing's going to happen.
It's a money tree.
It looks like it needs some water. It looks like a thirsty tree.
We have it for, bringing in money and abundance and prosperity.
How's that working out for you?
Not great. All right. So the first one, the fear, it's not, well, I guess it's like a fear, but just what it entailed, like what it meant was the fear. But as a kid in school, like everywhere, we were always taught stop, drop, and roll. If you
catch on fire,
randomly caught on fire.
Yeah, I always remember that being a thing, like stop, drop, and roll.
Oh my God. I was in Cubs when I was a kid. Like Cubs is like part of the Scouts institution there, and I remember practicing that at Cubs one time to stop, drop, and roll.
Yeah,
but was it common practice that people just randomly caught on fire?
I don't know. Maybe back in the day, the clothes they made or something that were more flammable or something. I don't know, but it definitely was like a thing.
Sure.
So stop, drop, and roll. I remember that, like Eric said, we were taught how to do it.
Yeah, I definitely remember being taught how to do it. For someone, when I say, was there not an infomercial, but like a commercials or something about it, or I don't know.
But at least for my school, when they were teaching about fire safety, like it was when I was young, but they actually, one of the homework assignments was you had to go home and make a fire escape plan from your house.
Yeah, I did that.
I 100% remember.
Yeah.
I was going to say that was the whole thing. Were house fires like prevalent back in like the 70s and 80s or something like that? Like,
okay, okay, whatever. It's good to be prepared. But the amount of it was drilled into our brain. Like I remember having a little map and
I remember them saying you could buy like ladders that were made of chain link that you could have in a corner, like throw out the window and all this crazy. Like if you were on like a second floor or something like that. It's like,
oh my God!
What the hell?
Memory unlocked. Did you guys remember this? There was a reflective sticker you could put in your window to let the firefighters know there's a kid who slept in that bedroom, and to make sure they got the kid out if there's a fire in your house.
Yeah, I've seen those. I remember I've seen that too, like for pets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And again, fundamentally, it's great. Everybody should be prepared in case of emergency. But I feel like it was just, as a kid, I was just like, oh my God, my house is going to catch on fire. Maybe that's why even now as an adult, probably, ding, 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 I have this fear that when I'm not home, I'm going to come home, my house is going to be burnt down.
Probably,
whoa,
yeah.
wow.
It was ingrained in us. Fire is bad. It's just a weird, I don't understand why there was such a thing.
But it was a thing all the time. Stop, drop, and roll.
Oh yeah, no, I remember, I don't know why there's a song about it or something, or I don't know, but but it was definitely stop. I definitely remember you, maybe it's Cubs or Beavers or something like that, but I definitely remember learning it.
Maybe they
how hard is it to learn stop, drop, and roll? It's just
so the
jumping and rolling around like an idiot till the fire is out.
Have you ever had to use it?
No.
Thankfully, no.
There you go.
No.
I've seen some Bill's Mafia videos where they should have used it.
Yeah, I've seen videos online where people definitely should have, but no, knock on wood, thankfully I've survived this long without having to actually stop, drop, or roll.
I think it was just funny because it's was catching on fire something that commonly happened?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't.
It was weird.
Yeah.
It was weird.
No.
But definitely it was like a trigger. It's like, oh my God, something gonna catch on fire?
Well, that's the thing. It was
gonna spontaneous combust.
And people wonder why we're all full and riddled with anxiety because we were worried about spontaneously combusting and catching on fire.
It was a real thing, yeah. Apparently.
Okay.
Danger is everywhere.
Apparently. So another one on the list. Again, no particular order, but I haven't heard it so much now, but as kids, I remember hearing it all the time. But not to swallow your gum because it stays in your stomach for 7 years.
I 100% heard that.
I remember hearing that.
Not that it was, you could choke, it's bad for... No. It's going to stay in there for 7 years.
I 100% remember saying 7 years too. It's like, that's a
random number.
And like, yeah, but I definitely remember hearing that. I don't know if my parents told me that.
My
but I
parents
definitely remember hearing it.
My mom told me that because my brother used to swallow his gum all the time when he was a kid. And my mom would freak out. She'd be like, that's going to be stuck inside you forever.
But like, my question is, if they really wanted to scare us into swallowing it, you think they would have went the choking route?
You think so?
Not that it's just going to sit in your
stomach. That makes more sense.
Yeah.
Because it's gum is sticky, it can get stuck in your throat or something.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I never swallowed my gum. That was never something that I did.
I very rarely did it, but it's funny because I actually used that on my 8-year-old nephew recently because he was chewing gum and he was talking about how he swallows it. And I'm like, you can't swallow the gum. It'll stay in your stomach for 7 years. And I was like,
it'll live inside you.
I'm like, I'm that person now.
Yeah. You're reinforcing the trauma on new generations.
That's right.
So, then I was like, actually, no, that's just a joke, but you will choke, so don't swallow your gum.
It's probably way more dangerous that you're going to choke on it than
don't swallow the gum or you're going to
live in your stomach for 7 years.
But yeah, I remember that being told by like everybody. It was just the thing. I
100% remember hearing it from whether it was my parents or what, but I 100% remember being told that it stays in your stomach for 7 years.
Wanted to know what magically happened after 7 years.
That's what I was like, did it finally break down or like what?
That's the half-life of gum, I guess.
You poop it out? Like what happened after 7 years?
It dissolves finally.
It finally releases from like your stomach lining to like exit the, I don't know.
Yeah. See, we get it. He was going to say anus.
Yeah. The anus.
But yeah, I mean, again, like fear. I mean, it wasn't the scariest thing, but I remember being terrified to swallow my gum in front of my parents.
No, it's just like this whole thing, like, don't swallow it.
Yeah.
Why? Like, I can chew it, no problem, but the second you swallow it, it's like, whoa, game over, pal.
Yeah. Again, they should have went the choking route. I feel like that would have been more traumatizing.
Well, especially like some of them, like the Bazooka Joes and stuff like that, where it's like a big chunk of like basically rubber. Those things are so hard. I was like, you're way more likely to choke on that thing than to swallow it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
What the heck?
All right, so this is a big one because I remember learning about it in school and stuff, but just like, it just gives me the chill. Even now, seeing movies on it and stuff.
I'm getting chills.
Here's what this is.
What is this?
But the Bermuda Triangle. When we were younger, the Bermuda Triangle was somewhere that was like you were literally going to disappear and never be seen from again.
Yeah, if you flew through it, like the odds are you weren't coming back.
I remember hearing, but like, I'm pretty sure I remember like Unsolved Mysteries about it and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
With like Robert Stack. It's like, oh my god, what is this thing?
They had all these stories of these old planes that went through the Bermuda Triangle and never came back.
Well, didn't they
Amelia Earhart?
I was going to say, wasn't that the rumor that she disappeared in it too and stuff like that? And it's like,
I watched a whole documentary on her like years ago, and it terrified me.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the first time that I flew down to Cuba, I think that was the thing that you actually flew through it, I think.
You've been through it and lived?
I thought so. I don't remember now.
But I thought that they don't go through there unless they have to because of the whole like...
That's the thing. If a plane ever goes down there, it's like, what the hell were you doing? You flew the Bermuda Triangle.
But we learned about it in school, like the Bermuda Triangle. We learned about it in school.
Yeah.
I don't remember anything about it, but I just know.
No, I couldn't even tell you exactly what it connects islands, other than obviously Bermuda. Yeah. But
I remember my grade 5 geography teacher saying, "If you go through here, you will die."
Like not even an if, it will happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Really
it was on a test. It was like,
shut up.
That never happened.
Okay, I was like, wait a minute.
What kind of a grade 5 teacher would tell you that?
Well, I don't know. Back then, the teachers were savage. They didn't care.
I guess not.
No, but it's I remember the video. It definitely was a thing, and now you just you never hear about it.
No,
but it was a big thing. Like the Amelia,
maybe they broke the curse of it somehow. Somehow scientists discovered a way to break maybe the Triangle's curse.
Maybe the Bermuda Tourism Board paid off the scientists to keep quiet about this.
Amelia Earhart, the document, it terrified me. And a couple of years ago, or at some point in time, something came up where it was because there's all these conspiracy theories about her, right?
There's some new one floating around right now.
That's what I mean.
Someone's convinced they know where she landed,
and it popped up, and it just gives me that ooh, heebie-jeebies.
That whole story is just kind of weird, but now I know there's someone recently in the news that they think they've solved it or something. They found some remote island that they found artifacts or something like that on.
So they think she crash landed there or something?
That's what they were saying, they think. But I don't.
I mean, obviously, she just unfortunately had a plane crash, and they never were able to locate it. But
well, especially back in like what was it, like the 30s
was it that long?
or
I thought it was,
40s?
like,
I don't know what year it was.
I don't know. Like she went through the Bermuda Triangle, which may or may not be a time portal.
That's maybe she.
But that's what I mean.
Another dimension. She could be anywhere.
that's
Who
right.
knows?
But they made movies about the Bermuda Triangle, like scary movies, and like I don't know. It was just
No, I definitely remember being like unsolved mysteries and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like these little like Cessnas going in there and just like
Gone.
everything goes crazy. The next thing, down is up, left is right. The pilots don't know what's going on. It's like the Bermuda Triangle.
I know, it was weird, but that definitely one. Even if I hear it now, I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, but definitely, I can't, other than this, whole, like you said, like it popped up recently about Amelia Earhart again. But yeah,
no, you don't hear much
really
about
hear
it
about
now.
it at all. But as a kid, it was definitely like this thing that was out there. Like,
Well, I
my
said
God.
I learned about it at school. They
I'm bringing
taught
it
us.
back. I'm gonna make a Bermuda Triangle tour through it. I'll be the guide. We'll see how many tours you get through before you
Or you
die.
should just take it on. Be like, get your pilot's license, get some crazy plane, and like fly through it just to prove it's a myth.
I'm gonna do it.
All right,
Like Evil Knievel,
moving on.
Evil Eric, the Bermuda Triangle Smasher.
How do you do? Not good.
Turns out it's real.
It's a real problem, man.
We don't know where he went. It's gone.
Are you guys ready for the next one?
Yeah.
I'm gonna meet Amelia Earhart.
I'm getting freaked out. Like I have goosebumps. Ooh, it makes me freaked out. All right, this was a big one, and this one I think still happens because I've heard it a few times and whatever. But you can't go swimming until what? The rules were different for every parent. Mine was 45 minutes after you ate. You couldn't go swimming.
Oh, I definitely heard it was. I'm trying to think it was a half an hour or an hour.
There was different
but
rules.
I thought it was like 30 minutes, but it was definitely if you swam after you ate,
You were gonna die.
You get a stitch and
Yeah.
die.
You
were
would
gonna
literally-
stitch and you would just drown.
Yeah.
Because most kids, after they eat, are swimming a marathon.
Yeah,
exactly.
But no, it was definitely a thing.
What was
and
your
it's,
time? Do you remember?
My rule for when I could go swimming,
Yeah.
I think it was half an hour.
Yeah.
I remember my parents timing me.
Yeah, no, they
Yeah,
literally.
it was like a thing. It's like no. If you don't wait a half an hour, like
It's been 29 minutes. Stop.
you're gonna jump in the water, instantly get some sort of crippling stitch in your body that you can't recover from, and
Yeah.
sink like a stone.
But again, like what
But
happened?
after half an hour,
That's what I mean. After that
Yeah.
magic minute past that time.
well, it's like the 7 years with gum. After 7 years
Yeah.
in one day, it's like
and look,
gone.
I can swallow another piece again.
it's probably not smart to eat a giant meal and go swim a marathon. Definitely it's not smart, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But I can tell you even now, like sometimes, I'm an adult, I can do what I want, but I'll eat and then I'll go in the water and I'm always like, am I going to get a stitch?
Yeah.
Oh, no, am I going to get a stitch? Even
am I
though
gonna
I'm
get
literally,
a cramp and
I'm floating on a pool noodle. I'm fine.
well, that's the thing too. So the swimming I'm doing is not exactly very strenuous to begin with, and I'm not like
More
trying to,
more
like,
floating than swimming.
Yeah, it's more just kind of like a dead man's float.
Yeah.
Not like trying
No.
to like swim any laps or anything like that.
But
at all,
No.
that was a big one. And I still hear parents do that
I've
with
definitely heard
kids.
people say that to their kids, like
Yeah.
you got to wait a half an hour before or whatever,
Because
before
really
you eat.
though, I'm pretty sure food doesn't digest in half an hour.
No, it takes hours. So I don't know what. Like I said, I
It's
don't,
just
I don't know
so funny.
why a half an hour, but it was definitely something to do. I remember hearing like you get like a cramp and like
Well, yeah, and
You cramp up and you drown
you
and
just
die.
couldn't fight it off. Like
why was everything the fear of dying? Like again, I wonder why we're so riddled with crazy anxiety.
they just knew. I think they just know kids are pretty dumb.
It's
Yeah.
true.
Even now, kids are stupid, so it's just ways to try and keep you
But
safe.
now it's more like softer parenting. Back then, our parents were just savage. They'd be like, "You don't wait, you die." They would just say
Yeah.
that point blank.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Now
it's
it's like,
like-
well, honey, if you don't wait, you might
See-
get uncomfortable. You might not like, they're just gentle
Yeah.
parents.
We didn't have helicopter parents who were like over top of us all the time.
No.
They just dangled that death carrot in front of us.
That's right.
And
And said,
we-
don't do anything or you get the death carrot and die.
But
right.
it worked.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
worked way better than this gentle parenting nonsense.
Oh yeah, no, it was,
I
Yeah.
mean, we're
so
all
the kids all ran off and played, without any parental supervision. But in the back of their minds, they're like, if I do anything stupid, I'm going to die.
that's right.
Yeah,
You always
and-
knew death was just an
Yeah.
inch away. You never knew.
Our
Yeah.
parents really should be paying for therapy for us.
Should be.
They
They
should
don't.
be.
In lieu of therapy, I would take a really nice BMW. That'll fix everything.
Dad, give him a bill.
But yeah, the swimming one was big, and that's one of the only ones out of this list that still I feel like is relevant today.
I've definitely heard like people tell their kids that now. Like, yeah, I've definitely heard people say it to their kids like nowadays.
All right,
Yeah.
this next one was one that I never really thought of until I was Googling, and it kind of popped up, and I was like, oh yes, I remember now. Wasn't my biggest fear growing up, but I'm gonna give you guys a hint.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah. A bee?
Yes, killer bees.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like,
Did you like my hint?
I was kind of like, I wasn't sure if you were going to electrocute it
I
at
was like,
first. Or...
yeah, I was like, are you a fly? Are you okay?
I'm Amelia.
Should we take a break
Earhart.
from the podcast for a second?
Killer bees.
Yes, that was definitely a thing. Killer bees was like they were coming up.
So
I know.
In
They're coming north eventually.
yeah.
in my brain, to me, the killer bee was like one bee that could sting you, you would die. But as I grew older, I realized no, it's because like in mass quantities they attack you.
Yeah, because they are like actual thing.
They are.
But
Wasn't that a thing like when the whole world was going to crap during COVID?
right around COVID started, there was
Yeah.
some sort of other type of
killer bees.
bee, some super aggressive,
super
like
giant
super
bee.
wasp that was like
Wow.
in like Vancouver or something like
20
that.
It would just multiple sting you, wouldn't stop.
Yeah,
2020,
but-
what a year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We got a whole podcast about
that's-
2020.
Yeah, that's saying
Oh my
something.
God.
What a year! Yeah, it's hard to
But-
believe that was 4 years ago.
Killer bees, and it's almost 5.
Killer Bees were also a really great wrestling tag team.
That's right.
Isn't it a band too?
The Killer
No.
Bees.
I don't
The
know.
Killers?
The Killer Dwarves.
Oh, maybe.
The Killer Dwarves, yeah.
Oh no, it's the Killer Dwarves, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but killer bees, I was terrified. I mean, I was terrified of getting stung by a bee anyway, because, you know, again, as a kid, you're taught, like, it's going to hurt. You're, like, going to
Oh,
swell
yeah.
up. It's going to be awful. And-
I saw My Girl.
Yeah, exactly.
True.
And so
Glasses.
killer bees were terrifying. It wasn't until I was old enough to figure out myself that unless I got attacked by, like, 1,000
Yeah.
of them at once, I
Yeah,
was
it wasn't
fine.
just one sting that was going to do it. But,
Yeah.
But yeah, like I don't know whatever happened with that. Like it was this whole thing that they were going to like be everywhere, and it was going to
Yeah.
be like, oh my god, you can't go outside anymore. And then
It just, yeah.
they
you
just
know?
maybe they hit the Bermuda Triangle on the way up here. They hit the Bermuda Triangle and just disappeared.
Yeah, once that story fell off the news cycle, never heard about it again.
Yeah, like they just kind of, it was a thing though. It was like, oh, they're coming,
Well-
they're on the way. Like they've been spotted in like Texas or like Wyoming. I don't know. Like, you know, they were slowly
Yeah.
getting north, and then
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I still
Gone.
don't like bees. Well, I don't even, were they bees? They must have been hornets, because hornets and wasps suck.
Hornets,
well, hornets and wasps, they're the annoying ones.
yeah.
Yeah.
Honeybees are the best, but the other ones, literally, again, I don't 100% have factual data on this, but I'm pretty sure hornets or wasps or both have literally no positive impact on the ecosystem.
It's definitely, I think it's the yellow jackets. Or
They do
what,
nothing.
Like they don't.
Their nature's
they're not
cruel
like, yeah,
joke.
they're not like pollinators.
They do
or not
nothing.
Like bees
No.
and so yeah.
So I don't feel bad killing them, but don't kill bumblebees.
It's been forever since I've been. I've only been stung by a bee like 2 or 3 times.
I don't think I've ever been stung that I've known.
No, I got stung a couple years ago at the cottage on my back, and then as a kid, I got
Oh.
stung on my hand once. And when I was like 6, and I was at my parents' friend's house, and we were out in front of a bunch of us, and I was barefoot, and I stomped on a dead bee, and it stung me still.
Oh, man.
I feel like you
It
deserve
was like,
that.
yeah.
Oh, totally. But I heard it was right in the arch of my foot too.
Oh, my God, that would hurt.
Yeah, but I think the last time, it was probably like 5 years ago. I think it
Yeah.
was, I got stung at the cottage.
It's
in
been a
my
while,
back.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Just annoying.
remember.
They don't really. I mean, it hurts, but it's just
Well,
annoying.
just
Yeah.
burns or stings, I imagine. I don't know, but I've never really had one.
Yeah, no. I remember as a kid. Yeah, I remember at camp. They got this whole big thing. They got stung on my hand. It was
But
really
again,
annoying.
well, now it's just really dangerous because lots of people have undiagnosed allergies to bee stings, and it's like really scary.
Yeah, I had a teacher that I hated. She was a horrible, horrible woman, and she liked to golf, and she drank a Coke when she was golfing, and there was a bee in it, and it stung her in the throat, and she had to get like rushed to the hospital.
Oh, my God.
As a kid, I was like, oh, she made it.
So close, damn it.
She was a horrible, horrible teacher. Yes, she
All right.
deserved it.
Move on. We don't wish any ill will on anybody.
This lady, yeah. Anyways,
The next one, which again, in practice, it is very smart, very smart. But the amount of discussion and everything about it growing up, I was terrified. But tampered Halloween candy. I thought I was going to bite
I was
into...
hoping this was on the list.
I thought I was
That
going to
was-
bite into a razor blade, accidentally ingest
God,
cocaine,
yeah.
like,
The razor blade in the apple was a big one.
or like drugs in it.
oh,
like,
I remember it was
Yeah.
like if anyone ever gave you something that was like homemade, it was like, oh my god,
Don't
like,
touch it.
don't even touch it. Like I
Yeah.
remember if you like not very often you get like a candy apple or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like, well, that's just like a time bomb.
Even
Yeah.
if it was from 85-year-old Edna.
I
That
don't know
you
what
knew,
Edna's up to. My
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
My parents don't fall for Edna's shit.
No, you take it back to the system, throw it at her door.
That's right.
Pervert.
But again, like in practice, it's very smart. You should always see, because there are weirdos out there that do
Well, you
weird
do
things.
always
Yeah.
hear. I think every Halloween
But-
there's some one story that comes out of some kid finding
Yeah.
something in their candy.
But the amount of like, it was drilled into at least my head growing up and coming back, and like my parents actually looked through the like it was
Yeah.
a thing.
oh yeah, I remember like
Yeah.
having to come home, and I always used a pillowcase. That was always my go-to
Yeah.
for
Solid.
you know.
It's a
And
good
then so I had to
choice.
go home, dump it out, and then you kind of my parents like rummage around for
Yeah.
it. You know, just kind of like. Even
Yeah.
I do like a quick like scan it, and then it looked like it's been like tampered with or opened.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Every so often, I remember one time I got like a pack of chiclets that was open. It's like, well, those
Don't take that.
That was also worse.
The
You get,
chiclets are gross.
2 chiclets in a little box.
I remember that tiny little thing.
gross.
Yeah.
Got the rainbow ones too with the weed flavors.
And they lasted for like 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Chiclets
no, I know.
always, the flavor was always going to like fast.
But-
too fast.
I would just swallow them.
Again, every
See you
time.
in 7 years.
Eric, what's your face?
My my headphones just died, but they're back.
Oh, did you see Eric's face? He's like, I thought he was looking at that because it wasn't recording. I was like, oh shit.
I was actually having a flashback of the razor blade in my apple. Tore apart my insides.
Eric's face has changed. Like, I was like, what's wrong?
No, my
There's
headphones do
lots
that
wrong.
too. The headphones
Mine
do
just
that.
did it again.
No, it's the connection on them is finicky.
Yeah, I'm good now.
But again, the amount of times that I thought I was going to eat a razor blade or accidentally
like, I remember, like-
ingest cocaine.
I remember. I don't remember so much about cocaine, but definitely
Well,
razor
drugs.
blades. But I
I was
remember
trying to-
like teachers being like, "Don't forget, like tonight
Yeah,
when you
it
go
was a
home,
thing.
like check your candy and blah blah blah."
I think my parents may have drugged my candy.
I could see that.
Yeah,
Laxatives
I
in
think
it?
so, probably.
Laxative.
Laxatives.
That sounds like more work for your parents.
Yeah,
potentially.
exactly. We had one bathroom, so
But yeah,
Oh man, Eric, shit the floor.
the
my
Halloween
parents were beatniks.
the Halloween candy fear was very, very real.
Oh yeah, it's still
Yeah.
like I said. Even now, it seems like every Halloween you usually hear some story about some
Well,
kid.
there's
finding
assholes
some-
out there that do asshole things always.
I think
but
some people just do it just to be funny or something. I don't know.
no,
But
they're assholes. Well,
yeah.
you can't think
I don't
that's
know
funny.
how funny it is, but yeah.
But my
Yeah.
whole thing is like the way it was taught to us. It was like it was every single piece of candy was gonna be tampered with, and like
Oh, yeah,
again,
no,
like
it was
you were,
like-
it was crazy.
Danger
Yeah.
was everywhere, even in your Halloween treats.
Yeah, like it was
Yeah.
just. Now it's kind of like, hey, you know, I'm sure parents still kind of look, but now it's different though too, because it's a lot more of the like, it's different candy than when we were kids. Like,
Is it? Yeah.
well, it's not different, but I mean now it's mostly like it's all the little chocolate bars and like it's
That's
you know hard
true.
to
It's
slip
like-
stuff in those like the packaging now than versus the candy we had. Because back then a lot of, at least when I went trick or treating, a lot of people made the little trick or treat bags. They like kind of added their own.
That's
treats
true.
to
Yeah,
them.
that's
Oh,
yeah.
yeah,
So
more
yeah.
homemade
Stuff like
stuff.
that. Now it's just like, you know, you go to Fortino's and you
You
buy
just
a
buy,
pack
like, a
of
thing of, like,
chocolate bars.
yeah, but, like-
I'm not saying people still aren't creeps, but you know.
You know what's
Yeah.
worse than like a razor blade in your apple? A toothbrush.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had a
Come on, dentist.
I had a dentist on my street, but he also gave out cans of pop, which is
See, you
weird.
think you're smart doing that? Drum us some business.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
I mean, everybody in our neighborhood went to him.
Well, to be fair, the toothbrush had his like
Well,
name on it,
oh,
Yeah.
of course it'd be,
contact
yeah.
and everything. Yeah,
That'd be like some guy just giving us his business card. Happy Halloween here.
thanks a lot.
All right, you
Mr.
ready?
Realtor.
You ready to move on to the next one?
Yes.
Yeah.
This one is kind of, again, very rarely heard about it, but the things I did hear about it, yes, it was definitely like you were going to die. That's the common theme. You were going to die.
Everyone was going to kill you in the 80s and 70s
Or
and
you
80s.
were
Yeah.
just going to die. But quicksand.
Quicksand.
Yes, that was
Oh,
It
definitely-
was
yeah.
terrifying. And I never really understood. When I was a kid, I thought quicksand was you stepped in it, it was like, you're gone.
No, it's
But
like a
quicksand's
slow,
like slow.
It's a
horrible
slow
death.
death, yeah.
Well, okay, like,
And the more you struggle, the faster you sink. I remember hearing
oh my
that.
god, it's terrifying. But I mean, I
It's
don't.
like Chinese finger cuffs.
Yeah. So quicksand was the thing.
Don't
but
struggle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
I literally thought that it was gonna like you stepped in it and you were just like gone.
No, it wasn't like a hole in the ground. No, it was like this slow, like,
And again, why did we have to learn about it? Like, is there quicksand everywhere?
I don't know. I remember it being like a bit in a lot of like adventure movies and cartoons and stuff.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
The characters would get caught in quicksand.
Can we talk about the worst quicksand scene ever?
Yes, I think I know where you're going. Never ending story.
oh,
Awful.
yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah,
That's probably why
yeah.
we were so damn scared of quicksand.
Probably,
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, that was technically the swamp of sorrow. But
Okay, but
Yeah,
it
it
was
was-
basically
but-
quicksand.
well,
yeah, same
was-
idea.
yeah.
Our text gave up and he drowned
Yeah.
in the quicksand.
Couldn't fight the
in
sorrow.
front of his
Well,
best friend.
Yeah, exactly. Screaming
Yeah.
for him to live. Oh my God. Well, that's trauma.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
That's-
you can check out our podcast where we talk about
Yeah,
never-ending story
exactly.
or traumatizing
Awful.
movies for Gen X.
Yeah.
That's definitely up to that scene. It's like, oh,
But yeah,
And I need a break after just remembering that scene.
but yeah, quicksand again wasn't a big part of my growing up topic, but whenever it was discussed, it was like avoid at all costs, you will die.
oh yeah, no, it's definitely something that you hear about. It's like, well, I don't think quicksand's really a worry, but
This was another
do
one.
I know?
The next one is one that, oh my god, even to this day, I'm always like,
to this day,
To this day.
I can guarantee you every single one of our dads has yelled at us for this at one point or another, and I think my dad still does. But turning the dome light on in your car
Oh, yeah.
while driving,
yes.
instant
Yeah.
death. instant death.
Oh, like, yeah. Your dad's going to go blind. You can't see.
Can't
You can't see the road.
Yeah, it was always like this huge thing. It's like,
so huge.
Yeah.
I was terrified to turn it on.
oh,
Like,
yeah. I
it was
remember we used to
awful.
drive, like, we'd go to see my grandmother in Montreal. So it was a long drive. I remember sometimes we'd go with my parents after work. So we'd leave at like, you know, 5 o'clock at night. So yeah, we'd be like out in the middle of nowhere on the 401 and
Yeah.
you'd drop something, you'd turn it on. Ah, what? Turn that off.
I was.
Immediately, oh my God, are we okay? We're still on the road.
It's like, and it would, you know, it's like the dome light. Like even the cars are now way brighter because most of them have
Yeah.
like
The
multiple
LEDs,
lights. Like, and
yeah.
it's like, I mean, some cars have like 2 or 3, 4 of them, depending on, you know.
And I mean, yes, it does, you know, make it a little more difficult to see, like, obviously, but it's not like, again, instant death.
No, that's the thing.
It was a bit of an overreaction, I think.
It was
Oh,
way
totally. But it was always like this
overreaction.
whole thing. It's like,
yeah.
oh my God, like,
Why
like,
would
it's the
you
world,
do
like,
that?
Yeah, it's like you're shining like a bright flashlight directly in your dad's eyes when he's trying to drive.
For me, there was 2 car things that my parents freaked out about. The dome light was one at night, and the second was the lighter. Apparently, they thought because I was playing with the lighter in the car, and they heard a story. I don't know if it was true or not, but basically, like you could set your car on fire if you play with that thing.
I was just scared of
So I was told, you know, very sternly, do not touch
Well, again,
the lighter in the car.
Why wouldn't
Don't
they?
touch.
Why wouldn't they just tell you not to touch it? Because it's dangerous. It's hot.
They said I was going to put the car on fire.
I know.
Yeah,
Again,
I didn't even worry about you burning your hand or something like that
They
on that
have
thing.
to-
But I wasn't worried because I know how to stop, drop, and roll. So if the car did get set on fire, I was going to be okay.
That's right.
the
Yeah. There you
parents
go.
back then were so dramatic. Instead of, hey, little Eric, why don't you not do that? You might burn your hand.
Yeah.
If you touch that, we will blow up.
You know.
Well, that's just a whole memory on its own there. I haven't,
Yeah.
but there's those lighters you push in, and
Yeah.
like, I just
Well,
forgetting about that completely. Like,
I was mostly just scared because I didn't really understand how they worked. I just knew they were hot and lighter. So I thought when you pull, because my parents didn't smoke, so they like never used it.
yeah.
So I thought when you pushed, like when you pulled it out, it was like a flame. I had no idea what it was.
No, yeah, it was just like a hot coil in there
Yeah.
that would like you had to like put the heater on it to like.
I
get your
just
cigarette
remember,
lit.
even though like my parents never used it, like it was always the first thing in a car to break.
Oh,
Like
okay.
you push it in, it would pop out, and then like I don't know. They got older.
Oh, really?
They had their
Yeah.
own cars. But
No, it's just weird to think about like cars having ashtrays in them and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
it's,
I honestly don't know if my parents later worked or not. It was a no-go zone in their car, so I just never touched it.
because you would all die.
Yeah,
That's right.
exactly.
Wait, like you said, you would all spontaneously combust,
The car would burst into flames,
and you'd have to stop, drop, and roll.
and we have to stop, drop, and roll to
Did
survive.
you have a fire safety escape plan for the car?
Should have. Didn't.
Damn.
Didn't draw one up.
We should just all wear like asbestos suits in case anything ever happens. We're fireproof.
should.
Just to be safe.
So continuing on kind of the car thing, because again, growing up in the like 80s and stuff like that, there was a lot more road trips, I feel like, than there are now, right?
Yeah.
And we were a big road trip family, and so we spent a lot of the time in the car. But I remember, and again, in theory, yes, it's probably a good practice not to do this. But again, I don't think it equals instant death or, you know, decapitation. But like putting your car out the car window when you're driving.
Your hand at the car window?
Yeah, or like hand or your arm. What did I say? The
You
car?
said car at the car window.
Okay,
but
your arm or your hand out. You know
I
how
don't know where my car's out the car window.
Okay, listen, and you know how you used to like go like this when you drive?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Wave your hand
Wave
through
your
like
hand.
the wind.
I put your arm in. A truck's gonna come by and you're gonna rip your arm
yeah, always-
off.
Oh yeah, my
Oh,
parents
no.
told me that.
Oh yeah, that was always the thing. Teachers too on the bus, like why you
Yeah.
know, kids trying to put their arm out the window on the school bus.
Okay, first of all, you're taller than all the cars. You're fine.
Well, yeah.
But like again, just like, do we have to? Couldn't you just not say, "Hey, little Kelly, maybe not do that. It could be dangerous."
They just knew that wouldn't work, so that's why they
True.
tell you that they're like, if you just say, "Hey, don't put your arm out there, please," it's like
There was
no
a
one's
lot
gonna
of-
listen to that. It's like
No.
you're gonna get your arm ripped off in a horrible
Yeah.
accident.
There was
Remember
a-
the Simpsons? And
Yeah.
Bart Simpson is like, and I was that boy. He put his arm in his shirt.
So, but even now to this day, I don't like even putting my arm up where my elbow sticks out. I get like nervous.
Same. My parents used to yell at me too. There's a lot of car things actually that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like the door handle inside to open up the
Yeah.
door. I used to play with that in the backseat when I was a kid.
Yeah.
My mom was screaming at me to stop because, like, if the door flew open, I get sucked out of the car.
Even
Not
though
so. I didn't know where the door opening and just getting damaged in the door or something like that.
that could be it too.
Well,
like,
yeah.
you get hit by another
Yeah,
car
that's
or
just a terrible
something.
thing to play with.
Yeah. In retrospect, I should have done that.
But wait though, but wait. So they were so worried about all these things that, you know, would in most cases not lead to death. But yet the way that we rode in cars as kids, they gave zero Fs. They just tossed our asses in there. We
Oh,
had
yeah.
a seatbelt, didn't have a seatbelt, shared a seatbelt, sat in a laundry bath. Like, who knows? It was crazy.
Oh yeah,
It was totally
definitely
crazy.
not the same as
No.
you know, all these like mass like 5-point harness seats for little kids and all this and that.
It's actually a really good point because like my parents' first car, I remember them having the floorboards were rusting out on it. And the car was so old. And so where my brother sat, you actually see the road where his footwell was. So this put a carpet over top of it, and like, brother, just don't stand on that.
Yeah.
Well,
my mom's car was like that. I remember as a kid, it had a hole in the ceiling. You could see the driver's side. You could see the round underneath it.
But it's like,
Same thing, just put a mat over top of it.
but that was fine.
Problem solved.
Yeah,
That was fine.
That was fine, apparently.
But don't turn on the interior light.
The interior light's going to do something bad, but the hole in the floor, that's fine.
Yeah, exactly. That was expensive. That's the problem.
Well, that's not an easy fix,
No.
Or it is. You just put a floor mat over it and just don't step on the weak spot.
Here's another one. And again, I don't want it to seem like we're crapping on it because it is a real thing. But it was just the level of extreme that our parents all took it to that created all this trauma by like making us paranoid. But I used to think the amount of times it was drilled into our heads, I literally thought that like everybody walking down the street was going to be offering me candy trying to steal me.
Yes, definitely.
Stranger danger was like
kidnapping and stuff like that was like a thing. I remember there's that made-for-TV movie. I know my name is Steven.
Oh boy, is that you?
Where that kid got kidnapped and then realizes, like when he was later on in his teens, he realizes he's got like a fake name and all this stuff. And
but again, it's good practice. But we used to get taught like, don't talk to strangers, don't take candy, or don't pet their dogs or anything like that. But like they made it seem like anybody that walked by you was gonna try and kidnap you. Like the white vans, the like you're.
Oh yeah, I was always watch over vans and like strangers. Remember as a kid they had like do they still have that? The block parents and stuff like that? Like,
probably not because like
probably not because it's probably a worse idea,
Yeah.
Someone's gonna get it there and be like, oh yeah, it's totally safe to come into my house.
Exactly, it's like perfect for like the prey.
Yeah, so I'm guessing, but yeah, I remember that I had like block parents and stuff. That was like, this is a safe house that you assume the police did some sort of screening or something like that.
Probably not
if someone's after you, go to the block parent house.
Yeah,
but it was all, and again in practice, it's good. It makes sense. Safety first, but like it was all the time. Like I literally thought I was going to get kidnapped 575 times.
No one tried to kidnap me. I'm a little offended.
Well, neither did I.
Thankfully, no. I never had any...
No, but it was crazy. Like just like the stranger danger.
Well, just drilled into your head about don't talk to strangers. Don't take candy. I've never been offered candy by a stranger. And then I'll knock it, thankfully.
Well, I mean, and I know it has happened. But just the sheer like extreme level but again, maybe it's just because it worked. So we got scared.
I think that's they knew it worked. The fear factor was the better way than being like trying to be all cool and safe. I was like, no, this will kill you. This will end up dead. Exactly. This will maim you. This will lose an arm. So just don't do it.
Okay, here's another one, and this wasn't really no, it was fear because like it was like what's gonna happen, but like obviously whatever. But remember, because it even says it on it, but like mattress tags and pillow tags where it says do not remove.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I one time cut one off because I was like, I gotta cut it off, whatever, and I was so scared.
You could go to jail for that.
The FBI is going to come get you.
Have you ever seen Pee-wee's Big Adventure?
I was hoping you were going to say that.
Yeah. I just ask though, like why you're not supposed to remove them.
Oh, who knows?
I don't know.
Because that was like the instructions or
it's probably got some sort of safety instructions on it or something. Yeah, who knows? It shows that it's been like approved by whatever.
It was terrifying to think of ripping off a mattress tag.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that was the whole thing in Pee-wee's Big Adventure when he gets picked up by that hitchhiker that's a convict. And Pee-wee's like, what did you do to go to jail? And he's like, those tags on mattresses? He's like, I cut it off.
See?
So it's a real thing.
Terrifying.
So you had movies that backed up your fear.
That's right.
Yeah.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure, man. Great.
I mean, this wasn't something that my parents were like, don't do this. Because, whatever.
No, but
I mean, you read it and it'd be like, do not remove.
Oh, yeah. No, I definitely remember hearing that. It was like, you go to jail if you take that thing off.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
It's so weird. Anyway.
Cut one off right now. See what happens.
That was just a really quick one.
Oh, my God.
All right. This one absolutely terrified me. I don't even want to talk about it because it's making me terrified thinking about it. But I think there was different things you could do, but when I was growing up, it was like grade 2 especially, it was the whole Bloody Mary thing.
I remember like Candyman, same idea though.
Same idea. So you were in a dark room and you said it 3 times, you spun around and she appeared in the mirror. Oh my God, I can't even tell you how scared I was to go into, because it was always at school they talked about it, so they would do it at school in the bathroom.
Oh really? No.
So I was terrified to go into the school bathroom. I never tried. I mean, clearly it's not a real thing, but I never tried it because people would be like, yeah, you see this Bloody Mary.
Oh, I remember hearing stories about it. Like, so-and-so didn't actually saw her. And all this stuff.
God.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Terrifying.
Yeah, and then I remember Candyman came out like was that the late 80s?
Yeah.
And it was kind of, even like a Beetlejuice.
Same thing. You say Beetlejuice 3 times.
But yeah, it was the same thing, Candyman. But yeah, I remember hearing people talking about Bloody Mary.
Bloody Mary was a big one in my school.
I think they actually made a horror movie about it.
Well, I mean, they should.
Oh, I'm sure they did.
It's probably terrible, but
probably
the idea is great. But
would you ever like toy with Bloody Mary? You'd say it twice.
I would. So
I won't say it the third time
because again, it's one of those like,
Bloody
curiosity things, right? Like you're like, is it real? No, they said it's real, but it's scary. Like I'm so scared, and so before I did that, like I used to be scared that if I, like. Even with the lights on in the bathroom, I never would look in the mirror for longer than 5 seconds at school because I was terrified that like she would come on. But yeah, I tried one time at home. I remember I was like, Bloody Mary, Bloody, and I go,
don't say it, shit.
Stop!
Just show up,
made me scared.
Jesus,
like it's not real.
Well, yeah, it is.
Only one way to find out. I'm not going to find out.
We got a lot of real things. Like the Bermuda Triangle and Bloody Mary. We have to figure out if these things are real or not.
Maybe they're connected.
Oh my God.
No, but that's the thing. Who knows if it really is real or not? Because people say they
looking glass here, people.
That's right.
People say they saw it. No, it's not real.
I don't know. Only one way to find out.
You sound very shaky and unconfident.
I don't
right now.
like the Bloody Mary thing. It is a creepy idea, but
did they? I'm gonna get. When we were watching horror movies back from one of our videos or something we did previously. Remember watching. Didn't they do something like that on Paranormal Activity?
Oh, probably.
Where they were trying to do it as a joke, and then all of a sudden, like they actually got attacked.
It became real. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, next.
All right, what's next? That. Bring it on.
Okay, so this one again, all good, but again, just the extreme of it. But like growing up, that just sort of like the stranger danger, but like everybody that you ever encountered in your whole entire life was going to offer you drugs or cigarettes.
Yeah, definitely. Like the peer,
the drugs.
Just say no. The big campaign from the 80s.
But I mean, just like random strangers, kids. They like, you're gonna get offered drugs all the time.
I remember. Especially, I remember. I think you all did Dare, right? Yeah. Or you did something other than Dare. You said
something similar. Yeah.
Drug
abuse resistance education. But it was like, all your friends are gonna offer you, especially once you get to high school, man.
Peer pressure.
Yeah.
Everything is smoking dope, smoking doobies.
So I know
they're gonna offer you some to mess up your mind.
I know that Steve has a story about Dare, but I went sort of really quickly, and then you can tell yours because yours is more exciting.
Exciting, yeah.
Well, no, it's just funny. But I remember it was grade 6 when the Dare thing happened.
Grade 6.
And it was like an actual police officer that would come in, and like it was scary because he would be like literally like bad path.
He pulled his gun on me once. Sit down.
But so I remember we had the Dare program, and I was a goody kid. Like I was a nerd. Love nerds, but I was a nerd. And we were walking, and you know how in school back then, I'm just talking about how we described it back then. You always had those kids in your class that were like the bad kids.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I still remember some of them.
But anyway, so me and my friend were walking home from school, and we saw 2 of the bad kids smoking cigarettes by the creek. And we were so like, oh my God, they're smoking cigarettes. We ran home like little narcs.
Did you call 911?
No, but I ran home to tell my mom because I was like, Mom, they're smoking. Like, that's, oh my God. Because I thought they were going to get arrested. Like, it was this whole thing, right? Like,
they're going to jail.
That's what it felt like, the way they taught
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And so my mom was just kind of like, well, like in her head, she's like, they're not doing anything wrong technically, they just shouldn't be smoking.
Yeah.
But I remember,
did your mom slowly turn around and she had a cigarette in her mouth?
One thing my parents my parents never smoked, so I was never around it, but that's why it was such a foreign thing to me. It was just like, oh my God, this is so weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, you gonna tell your story?
Did the kid go to jail? Like, finish the story.
No, it was like a 12-year-old smoking. Should they be smoking? No, but was it illegal? I mean, I guess technically.
If they bought them or whatever, yeah.
But like they had like older brothers. They were the bad kids. They were like the,
Got it.
Yeah.
Anyway, what's your story?
So my story is I got caught smoking in there.
Oh my God, Steve's the bad kid.
It wasn't Steve that I saw.
in grade 6, me and my buddies. I don't know. It's a whole long story, but yeah,
it doesn't really.
We ended up getting a package of Moriers.
Yeah.
And we ended up getting caught, and then we had to tell, our teacher made us tell the police officer for Dare that we tried smoking.
What did he say to you though?
He's like, maybe you got out of your systems and you actually won't stop. It's like, most of your friends are going to be doing it when they get to high school anyway.
So what's the point of this Dare program?
Yeah, he was like, actually, it's probably better now you got caught. He's like, maybe now you won't do it. He's like, but half your friends will be smoking.
So those who feel justified is like, see, the cop's on our side.
Let's have a dirt cop.
But yeah,
that was a fun conversation with my parents too. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they're happy.
Our teacher's like, you give you the memories. Like, you have the night. I'm calling your parents tomorrow. So
did you tell them?
Yeah.
Who is more mad, your mom or your dad?
They were both pretty pissed. Yeah, neither one of us too happy, to say the least.
But at 12, did you even know how to smoke a cigarette properly?
Oh, God, no. I think we had like one puff. Like, oh, someone's coming. And we threw them away.
What was their move? Did they do the whole, we're going to make you smoke till you puke routine?
No, God, no.
Oh, yeah.
No, they just yelled and grounded me, I think. I didn't remember what they did, to be honest, but
so
I know they called everyone else's parents. And then
Yeah.
And then it was like, you're not going to graduate from there. It was like,
it's just the sub pump. It's okay. Ignore the whirring in the background. It's raining, okay? It's just, we're in the basement, is what it is.
Yep.
But I remember the DARE program was huge, and it was all about the peer pressure.
Yeah, it was constantly because it was like everyone's going to be like offering you cigarettes and booze and alcohol.
You don't have to do it.
Now as an adult, I'd love to have friends like that.
Yeah, I know. Please help me.
Please, no more beer. Please, no more alcohol. Right. All right, I'll have one more.
Well, okay.
All right. You never got caught smoking, Eric?
No, I've never smoked in my life.
Smart.
Yeah. I couldn't afford it.
Nowadays, I can only imagine what it costs. Yeah.
All right. This is like the last one that I have on the list, but if there's any more that you think of that pop up in your... Oh, I have one more after I can think of.
Okay.
But I remember this again once I was reading through. I was like, yes, that if you stood in front of your microwave, you were going to die.
Yeah, I definitely.
Oh, yeah, it was going to cook your
poisoning and
insides.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was always like this thing where it's like, somehow it's going to get out of the microwave.
I'm not going to lie. Like when the microwave's going, I walk away from it.
Yeah, still I do.
I still do.
I don't really stand in front of it, but I don't not because I'm worried about it.
No, it's like it flashes in my brain. It's like a trauma response. It's like, get away, I'm going to die.
When I was a kid in our house, my bedroom, the way the house was, my bedroom wall was beside the kitchen, and on the wall there was where the microwave was. And so when I was like, I must have been like 10, 11, so I must have been like growing pains or something. I was like, oh man, my legs are really sore. And then my dad was like, convinced me that was the radiation from the microwave on the other side of the wall, cooking me like as I slept.
Your parents didn't love you, did they?
No, because I was smoking and stuff. They're like, God, this kid's a waste.
Tell him he's going to die from radiation poisoning.
But yeah, the microwave, I used to get yelled at all the time for being in, because I don't know, as a kid, you just turn it on and you like watch it, right? You're like looking at it, get away, radiation. I mean, again.
It's like, well, if it's that unsafe, then it's like there's way worse than, you know.
You shouldn't really have them in the house.
No, exactly. Yeah.
And,
not safe.
I mean, I turned out fine.
I think I'm somewhat normal-ish.
I'm still here. All these years later, I'm still here, so that says something.
That's right.
So this is another one. I never really had any experience with it per se. Not that I can remember, but this one was if you eat Pop Rocks and drink pop at the same time, your stomach's going to explode.
Yeah.
Definitely. Excuse me, I definitely remember hearing that, yeah.
I remember hearing it, but it wasn't like a thing in my house or anything.
I never tried it.
No. Well, because I was scared.
No, but I definitely, it's almost like the kids nowadays, it was the Mentos. Or the Mentos and Diet Coke.
Diet Coke, yeah.
It's basically the sense like you drink this, you're going to just like
explode up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was one that I just never did it because I heard the rumors.
That's right. I don't even, are Pop Rocks still a thing? I don't know. As a kid, I remember those things. I thought they were so cool. Eat them, they like crinkle in your tongue and stuff like that.
I'm pretty sure we tried some on like one of our channels.
Oh, we did. No, there was a firecracker chocolate bar that had them in it.
Oh,
that's right. Yeah.
They still have them because my nephew eats them. Well, not all the time, but he's had them.
I always thought they were super cool as a kid, just the sound they would make.
I know.
And you get one, you get like a big one and crack, and you're like make a big popping sound.
Nice.
Was there also too growing up? And again, I don't know, like, but just maybe that's why I'm terrified of them now. But like fireworks was always like you're gonna blow your arm off. Like back in the 80s, a lot of, I don't think I'm sure it happens now, but back then, like it was a lot of like in your backyard fireworks.
Yeah.
And it was always terrifying. Like, don't stand too. I mean, again, it's good in practice, but the whole,
I know you hear all the time stories about that stuff. Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure Rescue 911 is the reason why I'm terrified of fireworks.
Rescue 911 and Unsolved Mysteries, and then America's Most Wanted for the kidnapping side of things.
No, but Rescue 911 every week there was somebody who blew their arm off with firecracker.
Oh, there was always something like that, or some guy gets like run over by like a tractor, or like there's always something.
Is there any other ones that you guys have that I didn't mention?
No, I mean this was fun though. Like these lists and like reminiscing.
Yeah.
Like
I know there's probably something that I can't think of, but definitely the guy as a kid, I definitely remember like the kidnappings, the fire,
the drugs,
aliens. I remember being aliens always being like a thing.
Aliens,
they were just, like, out there.
I know exactly. They're gonna come like abduct you.
Yeah, that was always something too.
But it was like it's funny how like now like sometimes those things like again even now to go in the car I'm always like oh no, it's okay, I can turn on the light.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
or it's like it's not that. Although I've done that a few times where you're driving somewhere it's like really dark and someone turns the light on. It's like, oh.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not the safest thing to do, but you're not going to immediately die.
No, like the car's not instantly going to swerve off the road and like explode into flames.
I can just picture my dad being like, "What are you doing?" And my mom being like, "Turn it off, turn it off." It's like so dramatic.
I know.
Well, it was more the dramatic reaction to it, not just the like. Yeah.
Anyway,
chill.
You guys, comment below and let us know if we missed any, or which one you heard most commonly growing up. I think our parents all owe us some therapy.
I think so. Like I said, I'm gonna go next time I see my parents. I'm gonna give them a bill. Give me $50,000.
They'll be like, "We caught you smoking at 12. Pay for your own therapy."
Oh, you forced me to. All the stress I was under. I need to get a stress relief.
Oh, really quick question to that though. Like, was that your one and done at 12, or did you try it again when you were younger?
No, sadly, that was not one and done.
Yeah, I didn't think so. But I think that it was just more for like the cool factor. Like,
I don't even know what possessed us to do. To be honest, back then, I don't remember exactly. But
well, you were 12. You're dumb.
Yeah. No, I know, and it was
Anyway, all right, guys. Yeah, comment below and let us know. That was fun, though.
It was fun, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it was really fun. Watch them
and any other ideas you have for podcasts, please let them. You know the drill.
Drop a comment. We love hearing from you guys, so thanks so much.
Eric's getting impatient with me.
Well, we're wrapping up for like 5 minutes now.
Yeah. It's fine. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
Don't forget, guys,
everyone.
Don't smoke. Take it from 12-year-old Steve. It's bad news.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody. Bye.